I'm trying to help 100 people buy a house, and in my mind, those 100 people are broken up into 3 groups. The first group is investors who plan to buy their own rentals. The second group is the joint venture who collectively invests together. And the third group are people like you, individuals just trying to buy their own home. I'm Deandra McDonald with Simple Real Estate, and I've designed this video series to help primary homeowners who just need a little extra support buy their first home. Because when I ask y'all why you're still renting, I keep getting the same answer: I just don't have the cash. I pay more in rent every month than I would a potential mortgage, but I can't find the down payment. So my goal with this series is to show you programs that will get you the funds you need to close. This particular video will be broken down into 3 parts. The first gives an overall description of the program. The second talks about each applicant's specific qualifications. And the third is how to apply. All of the necessary documents and links will be housed on our free teachable platform, which you can access below. So all you need to do is listen along, take notes, and ask any questions you have in the comments, okay? This video is about a down payment assistance program in the state of Virginia. Let's start with an overview of the entire program. The goal of the Home Ownership Down Payment Assistance Program is to help homeowners buy homes that are safe, decent, and accessible. This is pulled directly from their mission statement. It is not to be seen as an entitlement accessible to all Virginians. It should be viewed as a first-come, first-served, limited public resource to help those who would struggle to finance a home without it. This is a true grant, compared to other programs which offer funds in terms of a secondary loan. The difference between loans and grants is simply the repayment process. Loans have to be repaid. Grants do not, unless you break the original agreement. In the case of this program, you do not have to repay the grant unless you sell the property or move out before your affordability period is over. Your affordability period is the amount of time you've agreed to live in the home based on the amount of assistance you have received. If you receive less than $15,000, your affordability period is 5 years. If you receive between $15,000 and $40,000, your affordability period is 10 years. If you receive more than $40,000, your affordability period is 15 years. So you do not have to repay the grant as long as you live in the property for that period of time. If you sell or rent the property before that time frame is up, you have to repay all the money. But if you wait until after that period is over, you can keep the grant free and clear. This program is for all of the counties in Virginia, as long as the property is a single-family home. At one point, this program could have been used for multifamily properties, but that has now changed. It doesn't matter if the house is a new build or 100 years old. It can be a condo, townhouse, or manufactured home. The vast majority of single-family homes qualify as long as the property is on a permanent foundation and can pass an inspection. Once you find a few homes you'd consider buying or a few counties you wouldn't mind living in, the next step to getting this assistance is selecting a loan. Remember, this program itself is not a loan. It is just a grant for the down payment. So you still need to qualify for one of the 4 traditional primary residence loans: FHA, USDA, VA, or conventional. The amount of assistance you receive is directly tied to which loan you choose. The maximum amount you can receive for the down payment is 2.5% of the purchase price. You have to put down at least 1% from your own funds, and the grant can cover up to 2.5% more. Since each of the 4 traditional loans have different down payment requirements, the amount you can receive varies depending on the loan you choose. So let's go through each of the 4. The FHA loan requires a minimum of 3.5% down. So if you choose this loan, you would pay 1% and the grant would cover the remaining 2.5%. The conventional loan requires a minimum of 3% down. So with this minimum down payment, you would not access the maximum the grant offers. It would decrease so that you could still pay 1% out of pocket. You'd pay 1%, and the grant would decrease to 2%. USDA and VA loans don't require a down payment at all. They are $0 down loans. Therefore, these two loan types cannot be used with this program. Unfortunately, you cannot use the grant to get funds back at closing, so you wouldn't be able to apply if you're using one of these two loans. Now, one of the great things about this program is that it allows you to double dip, meaning if you can find another program to help support with closing costs or more down payment assistance, you're welcome to. Your total assistance just can't total more than 10% of the purchase price, unless the county you select is deemed high cost or chronically economically depressed by the state. In that case, your total assistance can go up to 15%. Although the program does offer up to 2.5% in down payment assistance, the overall loan amount is not infinite. There are maximums. Even if you qualify for a higher loan amount because you have the credit or you have the income, there are still caps for the program. Those limits vary county to county and change somewhat frequently. What you're seeing on your screen right now is the most recent list we had before we published this video. But as the state edits the list, we will update it on our Teachable platform. In this second section of the video, I'd like to discuss applicant qualifications. What do you specifically need to qualify? But before we go through those requirements, it would help if you could answer the 4 following questions. Which counties do you want to live in? How much is your gross income? How much cash is in your bank account? And what is the minimum monthly payment for each of your debts? Once you have these answers, we can more easily determine if you qualify for the program or not. Let's start with the county. Depending on the county, you can either be a first-time homeowner or you could be a repeat purchaser. First-time homeowners can qualify for every county in the state. And to qualify as a first-time homeowner, you have either never purchased before or you haven't owned real estate for the last 3 years. If you are a repeat buyer, so you've owned property in the last 3 years, you can only use this program in the targeted counties. Those targeted counties are flashing currently on the screen and will also be uploaded to our Teachable. If you still qualify for your desired county based on your homeowner status, the next thing to consider is your income. There are income limits set for every county in Virginia. The limit is 80% of the area's median income set by HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development. With the scrolling list, check the income of your ideal county. If you make less than the maximum, you still qualify. At this point, you ideally have found a few homes in your ideal county and make less than the maximum income for this program to still be a possibility. Now we have to look at your liquid assets to make sure you aren't over the limit. Remember, you have to put down 1% of the purchase price for a down payment. An additional stipulation is that you can't have more than 10% of the purchase price in cash. For example, if the house is worth $200,000, you can't have more than $20,000 in the bank. For a $500,000 house, that would be $50,000 in cash, so on and so forth. Remember, this program is to help people who would otherwise struggle closing on a home. If you have more than 10% liquidated, the program assumes that barrier isn't present. The next and final applicant criteria is your debt-to-income ratio, known more simply as your DTI. The maximum DTI you can have with this program is 43%. With your mortgage accounting for no more than 33%. Quick calculation reminder, you get your debt-to-income ratio by dividing your total monthly debt payments by your monthly gross income. For many, this formula is difficult to understand without an example, so I'm going to use my 2015 self. I was making $28,000 a year, bringing my total monthly gross income to $2,333 per month. If I had no other debt, I could finance a mortgage up to 33% of that gross income based on the program stipulations. So my maximum mortgage could be $2,333 times 33%, giving me a total of $770 per month. But unfortunately, I did have debt. I paid $200 per month in student loans, $250 per month for a car payment, and $75 minimum per month for my credit cards. That is a total monthly debt payment of $525. When I divide my total monthly debt of $525 by my monthly gross income of $2,333, I get a debt-to-income ratio of 22%. The total I'm allowed to have is 45%, so I'm under the limit for this program. However, because I've used up 22% of my 45% maximum debt allowance on other debt, I only have 23% left for my mortgage, making my new limit $537 per month. Again, with no debt, I would have qualified for $770 per month. Because I had debt, that amount decreased based on the formula provided to $537 per month. If you can't qualify at this step for your ideal property, you have 3 options. Option 1 is to make more money. Option 2 is to pay down your debt. And option 3 is to negotiate a cheaper price. If these don't work, you'd unfortunately have to find a cheaper home. If you've made it to this point, congratulations. This sounds like a program that could work for you. So how do you apply? The Homeownership Down Payment Program operates through local partnerships with permitted governmental entities, nonprofit housing service providers, and mortgage lenders across the Commonwealth. So in order to apply, you must start with these specific groups. The list is scrolling on your screen and will also be uploaded to our Teachable. The approved lenders will enroll you in any necessary counseling classes and help you as you submit your loan application. Unfortunately, if there is no provider in your county, you cannot apply, but the list is updated constantly as more servicers get licensed. We'll update as frequently as we can. So that's a breakdown of one of the many down payment assistance programs in the state of Virginia. Like I mentioned earlier, all of the documents and any of the slides you saw today will be housed in our free Teachable platform, which you can access below in the caption. This is where we plan to organize all of the information for the national and state-specific programs we find, so feel free to register for whichever states catch your eye. If you have any questions, please ask them below. We will answer as many as we can and ask the professionals to answer the ones we can't. Hopefully this was helpful. And please let us know if you make it through this program and successfully close before the end of the year. We would love for you to be part of the 100. Again, I'm Deandra McDonald, and I'll see you in the next video.